Hello, welcome to this first transmission. I communicate with you in the love and in the light of the one infinite creator. You can call me Hana. Whether you are a man or a woman, I want to feel like I'm speaking to my sister. So, sister, please let me warn you first not to get attached to this hijab and the identity that you may attach to it. I am a universal being. I come from the tradition of Islam, Sufism, and dervishes. However, I do what I want. I live a free life. I dress lots of different ways. I happen to be wearing hijab now because I'm just coming out of meditation and prayer. I'm not always this soft-spoken either. Welcome to this first transmission. Let's begin. So, sister, this message is about an awakening, but you've been through many awakenings. And maybe in the beginning, they felt like tower moments where you were in full despair, drowning, and miserable. And this awakening might feel like somewhat of a confusing mix, or maybe it's not so confusing, depending on how aware you are of where you are in the process of awakening. In fact, this awakening is intended to show you how far you've actually come. The Judgment card is ruled by Pluto, and the way that Pluto works, when you have a transit to your chart, or if it's in, how it acts in your chart, is it teaches you a lesson perfectly, with absolute clarity. But the way that it does it is it plunges you into the underworld. And then you feel like you have to climb your way out. And so you learn the lesson from both sides. However, here I believe that you might have had the experience of being plunged into the underworld, and then you realized you didn't have to climb your way out, that maybe it's something about a shift of perspective, like I'm seeing you dropping into the underworld and then maybe blinking and seeing that, oh no, I was actually just looking down in there. Maybe my intention and my heart followed someone down in there, but I don't have to go all the way down there. I didn't have to follow them. Maybe even I was existing somewhere on a higher frequency and my attention followed them down. And so I had the feeling that I was down at the lower frequency. But I now realize all I have to do is bring my attention back to where it normally resides, which is at a much higher frequency and a frequency of mastery. And it could have been something chaotic that happened, but the whole point of it, well, there were many reasons, infinite reasons that it happened. It was to serve everyone involved, but in your case, it was to help you to actually realize the level that you're at, the level of magician, healer, practitioner that you've achieved. Where you really are at the beginning of this awakening and at the end of this awakening is you're at a new beginning, and you are fully in creation mode, creator mode. And you are actually about to reach an achievement, a goal, a manifestation that you have been working on for a long time. And let's say that that achievement is already here, and the challenge was to realize that it's already here. And in order to realize that it's here, you had to understand who you are. And so this, I want to call it a tower moment sometimes, but this awakening, this scaling up and down the tower was so that you can realize yourself, so that you could realize your achievement, your material blessing and achievement in the material world coming in after you have understood yourself spiritually. There are some messages about working with your inner child. I'm sure that with the energy of new beginnings and creativity, you already understand how important your inner child is, healings, emotion, attention is. But what we want to say is that your inner child is Christ consciousness. Your inner child, your connection and your relationship with your inner child is actually the only way that you can safely, truly navigate the world and come out the other side of an interaction or a catalyst unscathed. It's not about what the world thinks something is. Confirmation from the train, I don't know if you heard it, but what is the matter, or the matter at hand is, or the point is that you understand what it is to you. And you can't understand what it is, and by it I mean any catalyst or any experience that you have, any event that happens in your life. You cannot understand what it is to you without understanding yourself. And who you are is your little baby. Who you are is the care that your baby needs. So when something happens in life and you have to determine who a person is, what their intentions are, if something is good for you or if it's not good for you, the person that answers the question is your inner child. And I'm going to share one of the most beautiful talks about hungry ghosts and share an inner child. It's a beautiful talk about hungry ghosts, and I can't remember his name. He's probably very famous. I think he's a Buddhist monk. I hope he's not like super. I just don't know everything, okay? So he talks about hungry ghosts and how we can heal and help hungry ghosts, but he also shares a meditation for connecting and working with the inner child. And he also asks us to reconcile our relationship with our parents. All of these things are very important because they make you or fortify your trust in yourself. Your trust in yourself is very important at this level of magician, practitioner, healer. Because there are times when you will do battle. Sister, it is the feminine that battles the evil one. And we'll get into that. But before you can go into battle with the evil one, you have to trust yourself. To trust yourself, you have to know yourself. And to know yourself, you have to have an unwavering relationship with your inner child. So please do watch that video that I share. And there will be a whole playlist related to this message. There's a video on shame. It's important to, I don't tend to think that I'm a person that has shame, but let's scan ourselves. Let's scan ourselves. Let's listen and scan ourselves for anything. Additionally, this relationship with your inner child, there's something about it's a secret. There are some things, maybe it's not necessarily this relationship with your inner child, but there's something about your awakening that is a secret. You will not tell everyone everything about who you are. That's not the point. You will not show everything, but you will show something. Or from this relationship with your inner child, that was like shea butter in the corner of my mouth. Kind of looked gross for a while. This relationship, by increasing the trust, right? The trust is what makes you know yourself. Knowing yourself is what makes you realize your achievement, your manifestation, your blessing. And it will come in. And when it comes in, a lot of energy is going to come in, not just what you want, but also challenges. We won't say what you don't want, and we won't call it anything negative, but they will be challenges. And this is where battling the evil one comes in. This is where you will actually become the Queen of Swords. You will be so happy and joyful. You will be free. You will be enjoying yourself. And you will also be a warrior princess. There's nothing wrong with being a warrior princess, because part of trusting yourself is knowing that you can trust yourself to take care of yourself, and that you can trust your vision, what you see, and that you can trust yourself to go into situations and around people and understand what's happening around you, what's good for you, and what isn't good for you. The most important part of being a warrior at this point, this is at this point of the transmission, this is the first transmission, but maybe it's evolving. Your sword is your self-knowledge. Why? Because when there is a perceived attack on you, if you do not feel resonant with that attack, you will not become angry. If you do not feel that there is any truth in the attack, you will not become angry or sad. You will not respond. You will not give it your attention. Your sword is the truth. The truth is your actual frequency and the ability to keep working and continue on your path. Your work that you were doing before the attack is your counter attack. So continuing whatever your work is, continuing on your path without giving the attack attention is your counter. And without you even watching or seeing the unfoldment of that counter, everything on that lower frequency will be resolved. I have some messages from our guides. They're waiting for you. They're looking for you. They're almost bored, or there's just this sense of, oh, please give me something real. And they're waiting for you. The second message from them is about trusting yourself. They want you to understand that you are the spiritual authority in your life. I believe that if this message reaches you, then you're meant to hear this message. You meditate, you center, you are aligned with yourself, so that this is not ego, this is alignment, and you can trust that you are your spiritual authority. You may have started at the beginning of your awakening with teachers, and I'm not saying that there's no value in teachers. Things change. Sometimes you need help. But at this time, at this moment of achievement, you are the spiritual authority in your life. And in the future, it will be from this position of authority that you will choose who can give you advice, who you will yield to. Also, the spirit guides give this medicine pink. Let love in. So you can wear pink, you can meditate on the color pink. I'll put the link to the shorts or the videos that I make with these cards as the oracle cards. So there is, like, I do read in one of the videos. I do a video on pink, and there's a meditation that goes with it, and so you can listen to that video and work with pink as your medicine. It's a medicine of love. It's love that's the medicine. It's love that lets you know that you are not resonant with a spiritual attack. It's love that reminds you and keeps you where you are. Finally, I would say congratulations in your achievements, in your manifestation, and in your service to humanity.